Engineer Gold Mines is focused on the exploration and development of the historic high-grade Engineer Gold Mine situated 32 kilometers southwest of Atlan, British Columbia. Engineer Gold Mines is fully permitted for surface and underground exploration with the drill program now underway. Engineer Gold Mines Limited trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol EAU. For more information, please visit us at engineergoldmines.com.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Chris Vermeulen from the TechnicalTraders.com. Welcome back to the show, Chris.
Thanks for having me, Jim.
Chris, are we at a point where the markets could again either make a major break up or down?
We are. The markets have had they got pretty oversold there, that huge drop, and we've seen this knee-jerk reaction bounce last week. And now the markets, all the key indexes, and even other asset classes like bonds and metals, they've all had a really strong bounce in the last week and a half, and they're all trading sideways. What's interesting is they all kind of have a short-term bullish pattern. And the general outcome should be to the upside. But my concern is we generally won't see the equities market rally and see the safe havens rally at the same time. Usually there's a trade-off. Money's flowing out of one asset class and into the other. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens next. But overall, the equities market looks primed and ready. It's taking a breather here at resistance, and I think we're going to see a break to the upside. Now, it doesn't really matter which way it breaks because we're going to follow it in terms of technical analysis, but at this point, it looks very bullish. It's only a day or two away, I think, from a big breakout and a rally to the upside. And it should be pretty exciting if that takes place. And it'll be the opposite likely for the safe havens. They'll probably start to sell off like bonds and gold.
Governments around the planet have announced plans to help out the markets and businesses. Is that making a difference? Will it make a difference, or has that money already just been absorbed?
Yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, I don't think people have really received the money yet. So I think the markets have bounced off that news, knowing it's coming. But in terms of that money reaching the end user and actually getting put to work, I mean, it's not there yet. So I think we'll probably see it in the grand scheme of things, though. You know, if the government's helping out, I still don't think it's going to be huge. I mean, it's nice to see the support in the States and Canada to help the small businesses and employees and all that. But we'll have to see how that actually plays out in the long run, because it's just a short supportive move. And depending how long this virus drags out for, I mean, how long is the government going to support all these companies and individuals on their dime?
A survey done for the Federation of Independent Business in Canada found 32% of small business owners aren't sure they'll be able to survive this. How much of a blow would that be to the economy overall?
Yeah, it's going to be, if this drags out, too long, a month or two out, I mean, it's going to put a lot of businesses out, just as you said. And of course, small businesses really is the heart of Canada and the U.S. So if they start to collapse, I mean, we're talking not only just businesses going under, but families losing their income. So it's going to be really dramatic on the whole economy. Things are going to get pretty ugly. And I think that's why, we're seeing Trump really step in with trying to do a big package to support all these, pay people's mortgages and pay salaries to employees even when they're laid off. And I mean, they're really trying to support it in a big way, because obviously that is the heartbeat of North America, is small businesses. So it's concerning, and most people are living paycheck to paycheck. So you only need a couple of weeks of being out of a job, and it starts to wreak havoc and becomes very stressful for everyone.
We'll have more with Chris Vermeulen right after this.
Cypress Development Corp is developing a world-class lithium resource in the heart of Clayton Valley, Nevada. The size of the resource makes the Clayton Valley project a premier asset with the potential to impact the future of lithium supply. Cypress Development Corp trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol CYP, the OTCQB, symbol CYDVF, and on Frankfurt, symbol C1Z1. For more information, please visit our website, cyprusdevelopmentcorp.com.
Media recognition from Bloomberg, Reuters, recycling trade publications, patented process for 100% recovery of critical metals, including cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum. American Manganese is focused on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. American Manganese trades on the TSX Venture, AMY, the US, AMYZF, and Frankfurt 2AM. For more information, visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Chris Vermeulen. How are the precious metals holding out?
Well, the precious metals are, they've had a pretty strong bounce. Gold is the leading kind of metal in terms of when you look at gold, silver, or mining stocks. Gold is the clear winner there, back up at that 1,700 kind of level, testing those highs last week. And, gold is the only one really in a full-out bull market at this point. Silver's hasn't reached a bull market phase yet, and gold miners haven't. But gold is doing really well. I mean, it's the global safe haven. But they all have the same pattern. They've all had a very strong rally about a week and a half ago, and now they've been trading lower for the last 5 trading sessions. And they all look really bullish. I mean, they have short-term bull flags, which means they should go higher. Of course, the concern is the equities markets have the same pattern. So, I mean, it'll be really surprising if we see everything move up together. But, it's not out of the picture, because when the markets crashed, we saw everything fall together. So maybe we're going to see a big pile of money move into the markets, and we start to see all these asset classes get bought back up. But gold is definitely the shining kind of star there. It's held its value very well, back up near the highs where nothing else is even close to the recent highs.
Are people trying to bottom what could be a bottom in the market and then take a look at the so-called premium stocks, the FANGs and so on, and try to get them at a reasonable price?
I think so. I mean, it's really interesting because, friends and family are all calling, and they're all wondering, they all want to start buying, and they all want to buy. And I remember this back in 2008. You get the first big leg down, this big sell-off, and then suddenly everyone thinks it's a great buying opportunity, which, it may be a great buying opportunity, and I actually expect the markets to rally about 25-30% from the lows that they put in about a week and a half ago. So there's some good upside, but it's only going to negate about half of the drop that we've had. So I think the tech, the FANG stocks, those leaders, I think they are good plays. They held up the best during the worst times. They should recover the best as well. But I'm not sure how long this bounce is going to last, because I think, everyone's starting to catch on. They're getting comfortable with what's going on with the virus and the shutdown. But overall, I think everything keeps getting dragged out, how long things are going to be closed. And I think it's going to catch up to the markets. I think a few weeks from now, maybe even a month or two from now, we're going to see the equities market selling off again. Things are getting worse. Delays in government starting up and businesses are being allowed to start up. So I think this is just a big dead cat bounce, and I think we're going to be seeing lower prices, potentially a couple months from now. So it's a little nerve-wracking.
We'll have more with Chris Vermeulen right after this.
Avon Resources Limited is a gold exploration company with significant projects in British Columbia and the Yukon, trading on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ABN, and the OTCQB, symbol ABNAF. Surrounded by world-class gold deposits and mines, Avon's 23,000 hectares Forest Kerr Gold Project is located in the heart of the Golden Triangle in northwestern BC. For more information, visit us at avonresources.com.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Chris Vermeulen. Chris, what's happening with the U.S. dollar?
Yeah, the dollar, I mean, it's been really, it had a huge rally there during that market crash, and since then it's been pulling back, and surprisingly, gold actually hasn't been rallying even more with the weak dollar. The the dollar is all over the place. Obviously, if there's going to be infinitive printing going on, you'd think that would be really bearish for the dollar, which it is. But in this case, the U.S. dollar is still the ultimate safe haven. You look at this recent crash, nothing actually moved higher other than the U.S. dollar than just staying in cash and owning the greenback. So overall, it's holding up really well considering what's going on. I think long term, all this printing, once it starts hitting the markets and starts actually happening, I think it'll put some pressure on the dollar. But overall, I mean, investors are still flocking to the dollar as a safe haven currency, and you can't really fight that trend. It's in a long term uptrend, and it's not even close to reversing yet.
The energy sector still taking a pounding? Oh,
man, yeah. Crude oil continues to be under pressure. Today it actually had a really nice bounce. It was up about 7%. In the grand scheme of things, when you look at the chart, though, 7% looks like the tiniest little candle because we've been seeing 25% moves on crude. But overall, it's still bearish. I think we're still going to see $17 a barrel. We started to sell off last night. We got down to $19 a barrel. I think there's a little bit more downside there. But overall, it's finally getting to a long-term area, the 17, where I think it's going to be a major bottom that'll get formed. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to rally from there. It just means I think that is where the technical price action is saying it should find support. It could bounce between 17 and 20 for months. We never know. But overall, I think most of the downside for crude is done. But, I mean, we're still looking at another $3 from where we are right now, currently at $20. So there's still some downside.
Cryptocurrencies, what's going on there?
Yeah, Bitcoin has been under some pressure. Obviously, the big market sell-off, it really spooked everyone. There wasn't really any asset class other than the dollar that held its ground, and Bitcoin sold off. It went from $10,500 in February down to about $4,000 only a few weeks later. Now it's back up at 6,500. Overall, a lot of damage has been done to the chart, and it's trying to find a bottom. Again, it's got a very similar pattern to gold, bonds, the stock market. It's had a bounce. It's flagging sideways, which is a bullish pattern. We should see price continue to move up from here. We could see it reach 75 or 8,000 on Bitcoin. The short-term pattern still looks bullish, but again, I think there's going to be a big move and another big wave of volatility going to happen any day, this week or next week, because the markets are just showing all signs that everything's contracting, and now it's just who's going to be the one to hit the big buy or the big sell button that's going to trigger the next wave of actions that people will follow. That's what everybody's waiting for right now.
Chris, how would you sum up the situation right now?
Well, I mean, if you're a short-term investor, I think you got to be looking to see which way equities are going to break from here. I think if we break to the upside over the next couple days, this week, I think you should be looking to get long equities. I think we could see the SP 500 rally 2,900, 3,000. So it's got a pretty good rally from there. We have to see what precious metals do. If precious metals start to roll over, then you definitely don't want to be owning them. I think there's going to be a flood into equities, the risk on. So at this point, if equities move up, I would stick with equities. There's more upside potential there than any other asset play at this point, in my opinion.
Chris, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jim. Always a pleasure.
My guest has been Chris Vermeulen from thetechnicaltraders.com. If you have any questions for Chris or any of our other guests, you can send them to info@howstreet.com. Find us on Twitter @HowStreet, our YouTube channel, Talk Digital Network. We're also on Facebook. I'm Jim Goddard. Thank you for listening.
Comments made on HowStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HowStreet.com radio is a production of HowStreet Media Incorporated.